Have you ever repeated something over and over and still forgotten it a week later? You highlight same page 5 times. You rewrite your notes, but nothing sticks. The problem isn't your brain, it's the kind of repetition you were taught. Boring, isolated, without context. That doesn't build memory, it builds frustration. In this video, I'm going to show you Vera F. Bill's motorway metaphor. How the right kind of repetition turns fragile knowledge into a neural superhighway you can't forget.
When you learn something new, your brain does not instantly build a motorway. At first, it only creates a tiny connection, like a narrow dirt path in the forest. You can walk it, but it is slow and easy to lose. Every time you come back to that information in a meaningful way, the path gets used again. With enough good repetitions, the dirt path turns into a paved road, and eventually into a multi-lane motorway. On that motorway, signals travel fast and almost automatically. That is why some things feel effortless to recall, while others disappear. This is what people call neuroplasticity. Your brain changes with use, and repetition is what decides which paths become real motorways. The problem is not repetition itself. Your brain needs repetition to build motorways. The problem is how we usually repeat. Dry, isolated, without context. That is like walking the same 3 meters back and forth on a path. It is tiring, but it does not build a real road. Burke and Beal's methods turn repetition into meaningful engagement. With decoding, you repeat language in full sentences with context. With ABC lists and Kawa, you repeat ideas through associations and new angles. With radial structures, mind maps, you repeat by organizing and revisiting connections. Each time you come back, you are not just drilling. You are strengthening and expanding the path until it becomes a real motorway your brain can use quickly and without effort. One of Burke and Beal's most powerful tools is decoding, especially for language learning. Instead of memorizing vocab lists, you decode a sentence word by word, matching it to your native language. This keeps both hemispheres active and gives your brain immediate context. Example: French, je suis étudiant. Decoded, ich bin Student. Literal, I am student. Each time you decode a new sentence, you are not just drilling single words. You are walking the same path again, but with slightly different scenery. That is high-quality repetition. The neural trail gets clearer and more stable every time. Why it works? Repeating this decoding process with many sentences creates pattern recognition, reinforcing grammar and vocabulary simultaneously. This is how a fragile footpath slowly turns into a reliable road in your brain. Want to expand your thinking and build strong associations? Use the ABC list. Pick a topic like learning and write one word for each letter. A equals attention. B equals brain. C equals curiosity, and so on. Each round activates your existing knowledge and invites new associations. Example topic: focus. A equals awareness. B equals boredom blockers. C equals concentration. If you repeat ABC lists on the same topic on different days, you visit the same mental area again and again, but you discover new words each time. This is repetition too, just not in a boring way. You keep walking through the same knowledge landscape, so the path becomes a solid road and later a motorway of associations. That is brain-friendly repetition in action. Another brilliant tool is Kawa. Choose a keyword that represents the core idea of a text or topic. Then, for each letter of the word, create an association. Example keyword: mind. M equals memory. I equals insight. N equals neurons. D equals discipline. Each Kawa forces you to look at the same core idea from different angles. Each time you come back to the same keyword and build a new Kawa, you repeat the central concept in a fresh way. That repetition deepens understanding and strengthens the retrieval pathways in your brain. In our motorway metaphor, the key word is the motorway exit, and every Kawa you build improves the signs and access roads to that exit. Mind maps, or as Birkenbill called them, radial structures, are excellent tools to visualize associations and repeat concepts through structure. You start with a central image or word and let your thoughts branch out freely. Example: central image, learning, branches, tools, motivation, environment, repetition. The important part is not drawing a pretty map. It is coming back to it, reviewing it, and even redrawing it from memory a few days later. When you redraw the same cluster from memory, you ask your brain to rebuild the path actively, not just passively walk on it. That is one of the most powerful forms of repetition. Reviewing and redrawing these structures over time turns scattered facts into a well-connected motorway network in your brain. If you've repeated things again and again and still forgotten them, there's probably nothing wrong with your brain. The problem is the kind of repetition you were taught. Isolated, boring, without context. That's like walking 3 meters back and forth on a path. It's tiring, but it doesn't create a motorway. With Birkenbill's tools, decoding, ABC lists, Kawa, and radial structures, repetition becomes meaningful. You come back to the same ideas in different brain-friendly ways. That's how fragile trails turn into strong motorways in your brain.
If you want to start right now, begin with my ABC list video and then watch the Carver video in the Knowledge Hub playlist. These two tools alone can change your repetition fields and how much you remember. I've also included templates for all these tools in my free brain-friendly learning starter kit. Download the link below, subscribe so you don't miss the next video.